All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Talkin Hands. We are back live previewing UFC 251. Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman. I'm your host, Preston Ekdahl, as always, joined by my co-host, Mr. Slaughterhouse1 on Twitter, Jeff. How are we doing tonight?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing great, man. I'm looking forward to these fights so much. I can't even believe they're one night away. If y'all guys noticed, I'm wearing this our boy Clint's t-shirt, Die Hard MMA podcast. If you haven't heard yet, you can go get his merch on our website, www.pubsportsradio.com. Check out these shirts, Talkin Island, or
we have our Talkin Hands
Fight Island shirts.
Fight Island, yep.
And man, let's get into this because we're gonna have some winners, and I can feel it. And I think some things are gonna happen. And all my brain's been thinking about are question mark. What's gonna happen? Where's this lead to the next fight, depending on who wins. So I got a lot of question marks in my head that this fight's gonna shore up right away.
For sure. And as always, let's plug our sponsors real quick. We are brought to you in part by Natural Heights. If you have stress, anxiety, joint pain, PTSD, or insomnia, call Natural Heights at 210-592-1060, or you can drive over there, pick some up at 1880 Nacogdoches Road. CBD oil, Natural Heights, go get you some. And if you're betting this card, like always, mybookie.ag, some of the best lines in the business. Enter promo code PUBSPORTS. With a deposit of $99, you'll get a 50% deposit bonus match. That's where we take our lines. And every Saturday night, we do a live stream, fight stream companion, where we are betting live on mybookie.ag called Flip That Cash, trying to flip our money in part to create a large sum of money, pull it out of mybookie.ag, and then make one large bet, hopefully in Vegas, if Corona ever lets up. So let's go right into the card. Our first fight, we have Martin Day taking on Davy Grant. Jeff, what you like here?
Yep. So Martin Day comes in at minus 165. Davy Grant's coming in at plus 135. The over and under 2.5. Over 2.5 is minus 210. Under 2.5 plus 170. I'm gonna start this off, man, because I'm gonna tell you what. I'm pretty high on Day. I think I'm going to come out the gate strong, and this is going to be kind of a make or break type deal for me. I'm going to put a good load on Day right off the bat. I think he's got a strong advantage in the striking. He's going to be longer, uses length. He's got great boxing, pretty dynamic boxer. The guy likes to rip to the body a lot, which I love. Man, and he's a Hawaiian warrior, like he's got that spirit. You know how they fight. They're just animals out there. He's not going to give up. He's got good balance, I've noticed. Who was the fight against? He's got great balance. He's been working on his strength and conditioning. I know a lot. Davy Grant, he's kind of like an MMA boxer. He's going to go after some takedowns, try to mix things up. He doesn't impress me too much. This is easy for me, man. I think Day takes this easy. Day's going to be quicker, faster, longer, hits harder, more powerful. He can take some shots. He's got really good spinning kicks too, which I've noticed. He likes to do those spinning kicks, man. He's been cracking some bodies. So I think he's going to rip into Grant's body and get this thing done under 2.5. So I actually like Day as, probably 2-3 unit bet, and then go in on the under 2.5, take a shot, for a unit or half a unit or something, plus 170.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. So I'm agreeing with Jeff here. I do like Martin Day quite a bit. Davy Grant in the fights I watched didn't really impress me at all. He has some okay boxing, but Martin Day should be loads quicker, very quicker. Good leg kicks, like Jeff was saying, good spinning back kicks, good straight strikes. And, he fought a very tough Chinese fighter.
Poon, right? Or let's see.
Yeah, Pingwan Liu.
That's right.
Yeah, he fought that guy, and that was a pretty tight fight.
It was close, and he showed freaking great takedown defense, which I really like. Because, Grant, I think, right? He's gonna be
Yeah,
shooting for
that's
some
what I was
takedowns.
thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking Grant is gonna. I think he's not taller, but I think he's a little more stockier, like wrestler type, like body wise. While Martin Day definitely has more the kickboxing look with his good straight shots and the spinning kicks he was throwing. His last fight looked pretty devastating. Only drawback, he hasn't fought in a year and a half, so maybe he's got some rust to knock off. But yeah, I agree. I like Day here, and a day by KO prop isn't bad, or like Jeff saying, it's under 2.5. You're getting both fighters, but I'm gonna take Martin Day here as well to win this fight.
Yep. Well, let's move on. We got another fight. This one I'm not too excited about. You got Carol Rosa coming in as the favorite, minus 255 against Vanessa Mello, plus 200, over and under 2.5, over minus 340, under 2.5 is plus 265. Man, these aren't. Neither of these ladies impressed me too much. I haven't got a whole bunch on them yet, but I do know Mello has the experience, but Rosa, man, I just think she's tougher and she has more ways to win. I think she can outstrike Mello. I think she can go after those takedowns. She's from a good camp with Andrade, who's later on the card. I'm gonna have to lean Carol. There's not a whole bunch I can say about either things that I really like about their game right now, but Rosa, at least to me, she's going to move forward. She's got some decent boxing. She can definitely strike a little bit, and I think she's going to move forward. Neither of them do too much for me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this line's a little wide to me for Carol Rosa. It looks like she has a little more. I guess she throws more. I guess that's the big deal.
A little more volume.
Yeah, that I've seen online. But Vanessa Mello hits, I think, a little harder.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, man.
However, big issue, Vanessa Mello missed weight by 5 pounds today. I don't like that. So I don't know if maybe her training got interrupted or what, but I'm not going to lay 250 on Carol Rosa. When you're laying 250, you want someone I know like a Shevchenko or someone is going to be higher than that, but like with a pretty defined skill set where they're for sure going to win. Carol Rosa should win. She should outwork Mello, but depends what the judges are looking for. If they favor the power strikes over just the quick pitter patter, maybe Mello steals one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Rosa though. But again, you can't lay the 250. And we have a comment here. Dylan Singh, is the fight on? If you're talking about Usman versus Masvidal, yes. Masvidal just does not have his coach. He could not fly over because he contracted corona. So, yeah.
So you're in agreement with Rosa. I mean, the only thing I like about her is she's going to move forward. We do know that. I think she will throw a little bit more volume. As far as, like you said, Mello probably does hit a little harder, but she just hasn't looked that great to me. I mean,
yeah, I think this is a good. I don't know what the over is probably minus 250, 300.
Yeah. The over 2.5 is minus 340. You can't lay that either.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go into some props if you want to look that way, but if you're a fight fan and you're trying to make some money, I mean, unless you have a good inside secret or edge on this shit, I would just lay off this fight and move on. There's so many other fights.
Yeah, there's 13 fights.
Yeah,
there's no reason to bet the second fight here.
So let's move on to the next fight, which is Zalgas Zumagulov versus Paiva. Paiva comes in as minus 170. Zumagulov comes in at plus 140, over and under 2.5, minus 275, under 2.5 is plus 215. Man, I'll go first again because I'm real high on Paiva. I'm going to take him in this. I think he's going to be the way bigger fighter. The guy moves forward too. He's very active, has very sharp boxing. He's in another class when it comes to the grappling. I mean, his jiu-jitsu is top notch. The one thing you can say is he doesn't move his head up enough, and I think that would be a problem down the line. But against this guy, he just seems almost too small to be in even this division. I mean, every fight I watch of this guy is questionable. All 4 of the last wins have been questionable to me. He's getting pushed around in all 4 of those fights. It's not like he's dominating. every one of them's a decision. He's got basically that Russian style. He's got an overhand right, and he's going to try to play the clinch game and that kind of shit. I don't think he can do that against Paiva. I think Paiva dominates this fight, and this is actually my second favorite fight of the night. And I've got 3 units on this already, and we'll probably bet it live tomorrow night on Fight Night if we're in agreement. But I like Paiva a lot, and in fact, I like the under in this too. I think he gets Zumagulov out.
Yeah, the under I think is a pretty good look. You're getting good 2-1 pretty much.
Yeah, I mean it's 215 plus 215 under 2.5. I mean, and as active as Paiva is, and moving forward, I mean, I just don't think Zumagulov can hurt Paiva. I've seen him take too much damage. His last fight was stopped because cut, I believe, and if it wasn't for that cut, I think he would have whipped on. Damn it!
Oh, the Paiva fight.
Yeah.
That he lost versus Bontorin.
Yeah, Bontorin. Yep.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that cut, I mean, I think he would have whipped up on Bontorin. So I'm all over Paiva, dude. This is my second favorite bet of the night, pretty much.
Yeah, this one is it's a tough one. Paiva is the bigger guy, so another fighter here. 2 fighters miss weight. Paiva's the other one. Paiva weighed in at 129. But he's 5'8". Zumagulov is 5'4". So I think if this fight stays standing, which is where I would guess Paiva wants it more so, I think Paiva would probably win a decision. Zumagulov, tough guy. And the only reason I'm hesitant with backing Paiva here is I feel like Zumagulov just beat a guy with a somewhat similar skill set. I guess it was 2 years ago now, but in Tyson Nam, we just watched Tyson Nam spark. Was it another Russian guy in like 30 seconds?
Yeah, but did you rewatch that fight? It was so fucking questionable. Tyson Nam had Zumagulov against the cage almost.
Yeah, even the last one that's on YouTube. The Ali Ragnatov. That one was very
questionable.
That was one where I was kind of like, I don't know how Zumagulov's winning the fight. I don't want to say he was doing more, but he was definitely pressuring to get it to the ground, but he wasn't having a lot of success. And I've seen some people online are saying the judging, because it's in
Abu Dhabi,
the Middle East, is going to favor the grappling
over
the striking. Now, again, we don't know if that's going to hold true. And, if it does, I guess we'll find out pretty early here.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think this gets to the judges. I think Paiva's just too strong, too powerful. He's going to freaking
I think on the feet, I would, if this fight stays on the feet, I agree. I think Paiva should be like a 3 or 4-1 favorite if it stays on the feet the whole time.
And that's why I'm not worried about this, though, because even if it gets to the ground, Paiva's in a top-notch Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class compared to this guy. This guy's going to hold for points. Well, he's small, dude. Paiva's going to have strength, and he's not going to lay there. He's going to scramble. He's going to be in his guard, attacking. I think it's an easy bet.
What I think is going to happen is I think Zumagulov round 1 is going to come out like a bad IL, try to really force a takedown. Paiva can, not get put on his back. Or even if he does, he rides that round out. Round 2 comes, Zumagulov gasses out, and then Paiva puts it on him. So, I'll agree. I'll take Paiva here. I think it's a close fight, just because again, it's hard though because we've never seen this guy in the UFC, so we really don't know how good he really is. So I'll agree with Jeff here. I'll take Paiva. We'll go with that.
Keep moving forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, then you can watch me lose all my money if he loses. So I'm going. Our next fight, we got Tybura coming against Grishin. This is a pick'em fight. I don't know why, but Max is coming in off pretty quick notice, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know who. I feel like they brought in Tybura too late. Like, I don't know if they needed to fill in a fight or something, but yeah.
Yeah, Tybura, this is a tough fight. I guess it should be a pick'em because if you look at Maximus' record, he's actually beaten Volkan, didn't he? Back in the day. I'm sorry, guys. I should be more prepared, but I got like 5 fucking tabs open here. Let me get to it. I want to see because I think he did. I was looking through the record.
Maxim Grisham.
Yeah.
He beat Alexander Volkov.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fucking big win back in the day.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. This is hard for me because I'm not in love with Tabora. I back him all the time and I lose. I feel like all the time.
I told Jeff I think the guy sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I don't think he's a good fighter.
It's just his style. He's kind of slow, methodical. I mean, he's an okay striker. You know, he does okay volume wise. He's got some good kicks. I'll give him that. Some low kicks. And he's jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, he doesn't have to use it much, but he can. And Maximus, I haven't seen much other kind of than some kickboxing-ish type stuff, but man, I'm gonna have to go with Tibera mainly with my Polish pride. I'm gonna go with my Polish brother here.
Yeah, so this is
I'll give him one more shot because
so I bet against Tybura his last fight against Sergey Spivak. I thought Spivak had a little more, but Tybura just kind of controlled him pretty easily.
If he didn't win that fight, he would have been out of the UFC.
Yeah, for sure, because that would have been a third loss in a row. Maxim Grishin is coming out of the PFL, and he's moving up in weight.
That's the thing.
So he's a 205-pound fighter, tall kickboxer against Tybura, who's a stockier 250-pound fighter, who's, I think, his goal here is to grapple, just kind of hold him against the cage, get him down.
Choke him.
Yeah, and, work rounds and maybe eventually, get a sub, as our man Clint put out earlier today. Tybura by submission, he has plus 1,200.
Yeah. My bookie doesn't have any props yet. Maybe they're onto something here, but
yeah, that's what he bet. So I think this is another pretty striker versus grappler.
The thing about Tybura though, and I don't know about Grishin, but his damn gas tank just drives me nuts sometimes, and he's already slow enough when he's moving forward.
I think he's
like
bad.
It drives me nuts, and then he gasses out quick. So if he does, I mean, I'm hoping he can, like you said, use that grappling and go for that sub. You know, I'd love to see Clint over at Die Hard MMA cash.
Yeah,
plus 1,200 on another sub like that.
Yeah, and I know. I guess the line, it seems cheap because you're getting a UFC quality fighter, but again, Grishin's pretty battle tested, 37-2, so he's fought a who's who of MMA.
He's got experience,
and we've seen it. Tybura's gotten chin checked and knocked out, and that's what Grishin is. Grishin's a kickboxer.
Yeah.
So that's what his plan to victory is just to stay on the feet, kickbox. We'll see if he has a gas tank. You know, if he has a gas tank, maybe Tybura just gets
in
picked
trouble
apart for 3 rounds.
And that is true because we've seen Tybura. I mean, he's chinny. He is chinny. We know he's chinny, but
I'll go with I just think Tybura has 30 pounds on the guy. I think he uses his weight, takes him down, grinds out a decision in a pretty crappy fight overall.
So if you like the decision, even at a over and under 2.5, I mean, that's minus 135. It's not a bad look.
Yeah, I like a Tybura.
I would go Tybura. I'm leaning Tybura and definitely the over there for sure. But who knows? Because it's a late fill-in. It could be a gas fest, and then Tybura chokes out Grishin or something like that. Let's move forward, man. We got another good fight. Leonardo Santos coming in against Roman Bogatov. Santos is minus 180. Bogatov is plus 150. Over and under 2.5. Over minus 145. Under plus 115. What do you got, Preston?
Yeah, I like Leandro Santos here quite a bit. Bogatov is, to me, even worse than Zumlagulov. This guy is just wrestle, and bores me to death. He showed no striking in the fights I watched. It was literally round starts, and he jumps for legs. Leandro Santos, Jeff will bring it up, very good jiu-jitsu. So even if the fight does end up on the ground, he's going to work. He'll work. He'll thread in with subs. He'll kick off. He'll get back to the feet. And on the feet, I think he has a clear advantage overall. The drawback, he's not really as active as you would like. His last fight was June last year, and before that, he took 3 years off. So that kind of stinks. But I think almost everywhere this fight goes, Santos has it. And just so you guys know, if you want to join in, we have a ESPN Pick'em contest on ESPN. Join us, Talkin Hands. It's under Talkin Hands. You search Talkin Hands. Our group's going to come up. The winner of that group will get a free Talkin Hands Fight Island shirt, as you see up front. And yeah, join us and see if you can outpick us. So yeah, Jeff, what do you like here?
Yeah, man, I'm all over Santos too. It does scare me a little bit because Roman does have that pressure for move forward type mentality. He just doesn't throw a whole bunch. He's not a very high volume guy. He's going to try to get you against the fence, keep you in that clinch, get you on the ground, control you. And the thing is, Santos can beat you up in all kinds of ways. He can beat you up on the feet. He's got power in his hands. He can submit you. He's a top-notch Brazilian guy on a huge circuit.
Yeah, if he wasn't so like not fighting as often, he would be probably top 10.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think Clint's right there with you, what he likes. So
I think like here.
Yeah, Clint's here. Clint's here. What's going on, Clint? Jeff's here repping the Die Hard MMA shirt, Clint. So shout out.
Check it. So yeah, so I also have that too. But so Santos, I mean, man, the thing is, it, like you said, his frequent, how frequent does he fight? He's 4 years old. The other guy's, I think, 29. The other guy's probably got a better gas tank. He's going to move forward. He's going to pressure, try to get you to clinch. I don't think that's enough to beat Santos. Santos can knock you out. He can submit you. Santos back in the day on a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu circuit beat GSP. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a high class right there. Santos is on another level when it comes to jiu-jitsu. So I kind of like that prop as a sub. I like Santos straight up, -180. The only worry is the gas tank. 40 years old. That constant pressure from Roman, is it gonna affect Santos? We don't know. The other hand, Santos, maybe he doesn't fight as much because it preserves his body. I mean, we'll see, but I'm all over Santos, and I love the sub. The prop bet here, yeah.
Yeah, this is I let Jason know last night over on Run Pure Sports. Santos is my number 2 pick for the night. I really like him here wherever the fight goes.
Yeah,
I think Santos gets it done.
So by sub is 300, but dude, I'll be honest, I could see Santos knocking this guy out. We've seen him knock people out, and he's got straight up power.
I think on the feet he has a pretty sizable advantage as well.
Even that is plus 380. So I mean, dude, you sprinkle a little on each of those, and you fucking bang Santos. Unless he loses, you're fucking.
And you can even do. You have it's 2.5, right?
Yes, 2.5. Yep.
Yeah, so you can even look at an under there. So yeah, I love Santos here tonight.
Cool. Well, let's move on. We got Makwan Americani -200 versus Danny Henry plus 160. The over and under is -110. Under 2.5 is -120. What do you got?
Man, these are so I really was kind of like, before I was watching fight tape, all over Makwan, but man, the guy gasses out.
He pisses me off so bad.
Like, he has really good jiu-jitsu
and wrestling.
Yeah, he's a good enough fighter, but almost immediately in round 2, it's like the tables turn and he's done. Danny Henry, though, I think Danny Henry's going to be the bigger guy in the cage. But man, the way he fights, I don't think he's a UFC quality fighter. I mean, that's just personal opinion. He doesn't look that great standing. He does have good chokes and subs, but man, on the feet, he looks really bad. But again, Makwan's not really out there to finish you in a kickboxing match. He's going for the takedown and sub as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Keg saying Americani fight to start round 2 is close to a lock as there is on this card. Yeah, I think so. I think these guys are going to grapple, jostle around for position, and I'm going to go with Makwan. I think he gets a sub probably late round 2. I just don't think Danny Henry's that great. So yeah, that's where I'm going. But yeah, kind of crummy fight to me.
To me, it is too, just because Americani can get cracked too, man. I mean, but Danny Henry's not known to be knocking people out necessarily. But the dude gasses out so often, it's just not fun to watch sometimes. It's really annoying. He does have one takedown at least in every fight, so he can wrestle his ass off.
And he can control the fight. I think he can control it more clearly than Henry would.
It will be a little harder for him to get that position because Henry's size, I think. But once he gets a hold of you, he's going to get you down. He's going to try to take your back and, submit you somehow. That's one of my prop bets I've had a few days ago. Was Makwan by sub plus 175. We're going to take it I took it for a little bit, so we'll just let it ride and see what happens. I'm not going to lay the minus 200 with Makwan, but I'll sprinkle a little on that. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win that way.
Yeah, by sub.
Yep.
Yeah. So we move on to a pretty interesting welterweight bout, I believe. Zaleski dos Santos take on Muslim Salikov.
Yep. Salikov comes in as the favorite, minus 135. Zaleski's plus 105. The over and under 2.5. Over minus 115. Under 2.5. Minus 115. And this is going to be kind of a good fight. It's tough for me to call because I know what Zaleski's got to do. He's got to get it to the mat and he's got to try to sub this guy. Muslim sometimes is deceiving because, he doesn't look like he throws high volume, but he's powerful, man. Those punches hurt. So
he's kind of like a one shot. KO guy.
And I know that if he stands with Zaleski's going to be hurt, man. And I don't think he wants to do that. The question is, how's his ground game going to be? I don't really know that. So I know that he can wrestle. I mean, I know he can do that. I think we're going to see a lot of clinch in this fight. I think we're going to see a whole bunch of clinch against the fence. Zaleski, on the other hand, man, he hasn't looked great to me, even in his last win.
Yeah, his last win was against Kunchenko, and he definitely grappled. It was a grapple-heavy game plan for him.
And to me, it was almost like he was fucking just trying to wing it to get by because he wasn't even grappling that great.
He didn't do a whole lot on the ground. He just was kind of controlling the fight because the previous fight was why we over here we don't like Dos Santos. He fought Jiling Lee and cost us a lot of money because I thought he was like next up, and then Lee just puts his lights out.
Yeah, we were in Vegas for that, and we fucking lost everyone that wasn't Chinese on that card.
Yeah, that's probably the worst. I don't know. We've had some tough nights. So.
Oh man, it was rough. But so, anyways, man, Zaleski, he's got some good kicks. I mean, he's not great in the stand up. Yeah, if he wants to bang, it's not gonna work. He's gonna get hurt, probably dropped. Man, he just doesn't impress me much on the grappling side of things either. I think Muslim can wrestle a little better than Zaleski's last opponent. So I'm gonna go with Zalikov here as a minus 135 favorite.
Okay, so you're taking Muslim Salikov. Okay. Yep. This is a tough fight. I see Keg says he leans Dos Santos. For me, I don't see a lot from Muslim. He's got this one punch power, but I think it's a pretty decent buy low spot on Dos Santos. Dos Santos, it's not like he's fought a who's who in the UFC, but he fought another striker, basically. What did he do? He immediately took him down, Curtis Millender, choked him out. After that, he gets knocked out by Lee. Okay, I don't want to deal with this. Let's try to get to the ground, control him, win a decision against Kunchenko. Salikov does throw a lot of big power, big punches, the spinning back kicks. He throws a lot, but that's the issue. He throws it with power. He doesn't throw a lot. So he can take rounds off. And that's why I think Dos Santos, say it does stay standing, and he just comes out, does all that crazy stuff he usually does. It looks better. Like, it looks flashier. It can steal rounds to me. But I think what Dos Santos' game plan is going to be, try to get inside, drag him down, control him, grind out a decision. I know the fans are going to want a nice knockout, but I think Dos Santos is going to just want to win. And we're going to be on opposite ends here. I'm going to take Dos Santos by decision. I think Salikov does have a decent chance of cracking him, though, because, the way Zaleski stands and throws, he leaves his chin open, and we've seen it. Salikov has devastating knockout power, but I'm going to go with Dos Santos. I'm not going to say I have to bet a dog here or get a dog here, but I think it's a coin flip. I think it's a buy low spot on Dos Santos. I think a lot of people are really high on Salikov, and even if he gets this one, it's probably the next one he's going to get put out. So, yeah, give me Dos Santos.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I like Muslim so much, though, is actually after that Alex Garcia's fight, you've seen Muslim go in the right direction. He's worked on his grappling and submission defense because he got subbed out against Alex Garcia, and then he wins his next 3 KO decision. Santos, to me, looks like he's going the opposite way. Even in his fight that he wins, he's gassing out, grappling around, and he doesn't look good grappling.
Yeah, the last fight was a coin flip. Like he could have went either way.
He looked like shit against in China. He got gassed out almost immediately. He looked like shit. His last fight, he gassed out pretty quick. I just don't trust the guy's gas tank. I think Muslim is a little underrated in the wrestling department. He'll be able to withstand the submissions. And I mean, Muslim in freaking Abu Dhabi not getting a decision would just be wrong. Anybody named Muslim in Abu Dhabi not getting a decision would be wrong. So I think he's going to crack Dos Santos. I don't like Dos Santos anymore. I just don't think he screwed me over that one time. And man, his gas tank is just crap. So
well, he's like I said, he's kind of like wild. He's a little more wild. He does a little more flashy stuff.
But even then, you say that, but he slowed down in the last fight because he couldn't do that shit against Kunchenko. Kunchenko was world kickboxer. Like he would have kicked the shit out of him.
And Kunchenko's a sturdy, tough guy. Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, you saw his game plan, which is one thing you have to like if you're betting him, because he obviously has a corner that is smart enough to come up with the game plan. A lot of these fucking fights, you don't see game plans anymore.
Yeah.
You just see 2 guys going and banging at least or whatever. But so, yeah, I mean, it's a tough fight, dude, but I'm just going to go on the opposite of you. I like Muslim here.
Okay. So we're on opposite ends there. We move on to, I believe, the featured prelim of the card.
That's the first night, the fight we were opposite on though. So that's a good sign.
Yeah. Where we have, Volkan.
Yep. We're okay. Yeah. We got Ozdemir coming in as a favorite, minus 160 versus I'm gonna call him Jerry at plus 130, over 1.5 minus 150, under 1.5 plus 120. What do you got?
Tough fight. I don't want to say throwing Jerry to the wolves here, but Volkan's a legit top 10 guy. And he's fought a lot of different fighters. He's fought Anthony Smith. He fought for the title against Cormier. He knocks out Manuwa, Serkinov. I thought his best performance was actually against the Swede, Latifi. He really dominated Latifi, and he looked great in that fight. Jerry comes in out of Ryzen, very high prospect. I don't want to say prospect because he's fought like 28, 29 fights. But, yeah, he comes in out of Ryzen, big power. But that's pretty much what he brings in. Like, he lands these heavy shots and puts his opponents out. But it almost seems like he's fighting overblown middleweights, not true light heavyweights. Volkan's a big light heavyweight, tough guy. The line keeps dropping. I think Volkan's now like to 150 and
minus 160.
160. And if you've watched the show enough, you know we're not too high on debut fighters in the UFC on a big card. And looks like we have a guest coming in. Jason from the Sports Pig's going to pop in here. Maybe he has a good opinion on this fight.
Go ahead and pop him on in. He can come in early if he's ready.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Volkan here by decision. I think Jerry gasses out. I believe Volkan Volkan gets this W. Jason, what do you like here? How you doing?
What's up, Jason? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, boys? I missed you.
No, it's been a long time.
Man, I've talked about this card so much. I mean, I know we didn't talk last week, obviously, because we were off. But, yeah, I've talked a lot about this card, man. I mean, listen, I think that Prochaska is probably one of the better light heavyweight prospects in the world right now, probably one of the 10 best that I've seen. I think he's really well built. I think He's athletic. He's got really good physicality to him. But the downside is he's super raw and he's not very technical at all. Now, I know he goes up in weight. He's a big guy. He's got a long reach, but I just believe that he's so raw. His footwork just isn't really sound to me. And like you just said, Preston, Volkan Oezdemir is still a legitimate contender at 205. He's a lot more technically sound, especially over the last couple of years. He's really improved his counter-striking game a lot. He's super good in the clinch, and I think he should probably get the win here. He still carries power. He has solid combos. And the issue that he had with gassing early, he seems to be doing better with. So I would say as long as he doesn't gas himself out, he probably wins this fight. I would lean Oezdemir here.
Yeah, I'm on that too, man. I like Oezdemir too. I think that, man, I just remember watching that Rocket fight, and he was chewing at that leg pretty heavy. And then when I watched Jury's highlights and everything, he's real heavy on that front leg. I feel like that's a instant game plan for Volkan right there, that he can chew up that leg. He's got good low leg kicks. Just looking at the guy's record alone, I mean, he's fought in OSP, DC, Anthony Smith, Dominic Reyes. The guy has fought the best of the best. I mean, I think his experience is there. He looked decent his last fight. He still shows that power in his hands, and I think he's going to get the win here. I think it's going to be a pretty easy win for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like Volkan. Yeah, I agree. I like Volkan here quite a bit. It's hard for me, and we've had a few episodes here. It's hard for me to take a debut fighter when they throw them against like more legit competition. Usually they give them a couple softballs, see how they're doing. Volkan's a good fighter, and
the thing what I noticed about Jury is you can't trust much because I haven't seen him go into the deep rounds. I haven't seen him battle tested.
Yeah, the main thing I've seen is the big knockouts.
He's fought in the M1 kind of Russian league where all kinds of shit goes, things happen. They have fucked up rules. Like there's all kinds of things that go on over there that aren't the same as UFC. So I mean, he's going to have some disadvantages in that aspect. This is his first fight. I mean, Volkan's got to come out there. He's going to chew up that heavy leg, that front leg, and go to town on him, I think, man.
Yeah, so we're in agreement. We're all on Volkan. So main card time, I believe, right?
Yep. Jason, let me ask you real quick before we move in this main card. How'd your interview go with Brandon Royval?
Oh, my God. It was a train wreck.
Was it?
Yeah, man. Our audio and video was great for Frankie Edgar and Frankie Perez, but we had a problem with the video connection. So I had to call him, put him on speaker, and like put the speaker close to the microphone. It was a complete shit show. But you know, it was nice to talk to the kid, and he's really down to earth, man. He's just a normal guy, and he can't believe that he just got a submission victory in the UFC, and he quit his job because he got the fight bonus.
Wow.
And so now, you know, he's dedicating full time to it. You know, I'm rooting for him. Seems like a really nice kid.
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch that because I really do like the kid too. I think he's got a bright future in the UFC. He definitely's got the heart, and he's always looking to get better, and he's young enough to do it. So that's pretty cool, man. Well, let's move on to the main card here. We have the first fight of the night. Amanda Ribas comes in as the heaviest favorite of the entire card, minus 805 at my bookie. Paige Van Zandt plus $505. Over and under 2.5. The over is minus 120. The under is minus 110. Jason, since you're fresh with us, why don't you go first?
Well, I'm going to repeat myself a lot tonight, like I have over the last few days. But in my opinion, Paige Van Zandt danced better on Dancing with the Stars than she ever fought in the UFC. If you take a look at what she's done, she has not one impressive victory in her entire UFC career. And she is about to get her ass kicked, bro, on a level that she hasn't had happen yet Saturday morning in Dubai. Because in my opinion, I think Amanda Ribas is the real deal. And I think if she continues to progress over the next couple years, I think she has the foundation that she can become a potential world champion, in my opinion. She's an $8 favorite. Obviously, we know for a reason. She can win the fight any way she chooses to. She's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a black belt in Judo. From what I've seen, her striking game is super legit for somebody that has only 3 fights in the UFC. And she throws hard. So I like her footwork. Seems like she's got a limitless gas tank. I think it should be easy work for her with the skill set that she has. However, I would not lay her as an $8 favorite because I wouldn't even do that with Amanda Nunes. But, I guess you could take a look in the prop market and see what you can see. I think she's got a legitimate chance to finish it inside the distance if she chooses to. But, yeah, I mean, I just don't see her losing.
No, I 100% agree with you, man. Ribas is some serious business. I don't, she's had some hiccups, but she's definitely on the right path. Her judo is sick. She can throw you. She can submit you. And I actually have her by submission as a prop bet for, plus 200. I think it's worth it here. Paige Van Zandt's had her back taken several times, rear naked choke. Man, Paige Van Zandt, she's a tough girl, but she's got decent kickboxing, but nothing special. I don't see this even being close. This is kind of a see you later, Paige. Nice having you. Get the hell out of here with your boyfriend type fight.
Yeah, for sure. We got Donnie Rightside in the building, Fight Island. What's up, Donnie?
What's up, Donnie?
Donnie Rightside, my guy.
Yeah, great. Great to have you joining us. And I agree with the guys here. Paige Van Zandt, this is her last fight on her contract. This is a classic Dana White. Don't let the door hit you on the ass as you leave. You're done. Man, her last fight against Rachel Ostovich. Rachel Ostovich is not a good fighter. She controlled Van Zandt easily the first round. Second round was controlling her, and Van Zandt gets a sub from bottom, I believe. Ribas, to me, her stand-up, I made a comment before. I think she fights kind of like a prime Wanderlei Silva with the way she has her stance and how she can get in there with those power hooks, good clinch, good knees. She completely tore apart Randa Marcos her last fight, and just, man, she put a beating on her. Randa Marcos is going to fight Mackenzie Dern in September. But, yeah, this is a pretty clear – 805 is a lot, but this is a clear Ribas all day. Van Zandt's career, this might be her last fight in a while, and she makes more money doing Instagram, so go back to Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, I would, at an under price here, under 2.5 minus 110. That seems like a fucking steal to me, because like you said, I don't think
Van Zandt's going to throw herself in the fire too.
I do agree. I agree with that 100%. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There's not going to be no staring at each other here.
Yeah.
Ribas wants to get up the ranking. She's the new star. She's going to go out there for a finish like she's going to. So I think the under 2.5 at minus 110 is a good bet. What do you think, Keg? You like that side?
Well, the only thing that worries me is, as far as knockouts go, unless you're talking about Weili Zhang, Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, Joanna, you're probably not going to see a knockout. Now, I do think that Amanda Ribas is good enough in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, clearly, where she can grab a submission. The only thing that worries me is, like, we know probably upwards higher than 80% of women's MMA fights go to the cards. Yep. So that would be a little concerning. But, there are not many ways to get on this fight. No. So if you wanted to take a shot there, I wouldn't tell you no, but I wouldn't put a ton of money on it.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I think I'm just going to stay with my little sprinkle on Ribas by sub plus 200 and go from there, man. I think that's going to be her path to victory the easiest. So let's move on, man. This is a big fight for us. This is a big fight for Preston. Preston's been talking about this fight for about 4 months now. I'll go ahead and let Preston freaking introduce this fight.
Yeah, so we have Rose Namajunas take on Jessica Andrade. Jeff, what's my book you have?
Rose is minus 200, Andrade is plus 160, over and under 2.5, over minus 150, under plus 120.
Nice. Donnie, what time do the fights start? I believe 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, normal. It's a normal time for us East Coast guys when a pay-per-view starts. Normally between 6:15. Main card starts at 10 p.m. like a normal pay-per-view card. It's 6 in the morning in Abu Dhabi, but it's normal time for us, Donnie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Preston start, man. He's got a lot on this here.
Yeah, no. So pretty much like Jeff is saying, since the fight was originally rumored, I was like, man, I want to see this line. You know, maybe we'll get a pick. We'll see what happens. Because if you watch the first fight, Rose looked as good as she ever did during her title run. Her striking looked out of this world. Jessica Andrade tried to bully her, and when she did try to come in, she was getting hit. Rose was coming in and out, straights, jabs, right crosses, everything in the book. Andrade threw her once in the first round, didn't finish her. Rose gets up, continues to put a beating on her. Second round starts, same thing. Andrade comes in, ends up getting the slam right on her neck, knocks her out. Rose loses. But in terms of striking skill, Rose is – this is like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder to me, where you have a boxer and you have a puncher. Like you have like a technically sound fighter and you have just a girl trying to take her out. And Rose is going to clean up. I'm all over Rose. We were talking about doing a Rose Volkanovski parlay. We'll get to Volkanovski versus Max later for a lot of money. But yeah, Rose is probably my biggest bet since Khabib over Conor. It's been a while since I felt this good about a fight. I love Rose here.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention about the first fight is that people don't talk about this, but Rose kind of gave up that first slam because she went into a armbar.
Yeah,
she kind of gave up position to get into that armbar.
Yeah, she was working like a sub both times, and the first one looked a little. She
almost had it.
The first one looked a little better.
That's the thing is Andrade, I think, has the edge in the jiu-jitsu, don't you?
If I guess Andrade is a bigger girl, she can maybe control her on the ground and work it, but I don't think she's going to easily get her down. Yeah,
I mean, I really like Rose in this fight too. I think she's skilled, technically skilled, definitely on the feet. We know that. We saw it the first fight. Andrade, all she has is she's winging big hooks, going for that, knockout. And Rose is smarter than that. The thing that does scare me is it's the same thing we see again, which is Andrade put her head down, eat some shots, because we've seen her eat shots before. She does it a lot. She puts her head down, just puts Rose against the cage, and we're back in scenario, the same exact scenario. That's where I want to know what Rose has done to, because that's just pure strength on Andrade's. That's, it's some technique there, but strength alone is what slammed her down. So,
yeah. Well, and the other thing, this is, I believe, a regular size cage. So it's not the shorter, smaller cage. So, Rose should have the big enough cage to continue her movement, get in and out, and just box her up pretty clearly.
And then you hear the things, with Rose and where her head's at, and those kind of rumors, and she's talked about it too, where her head's at, and you got to wonder if she still has it. She still has it in her heart to go out there and compete. But I don't think she would take this fight if she didn't. I'm on Rose. I gotta go here with Rose. I think we see a more dominant Rose this fight. And I think she just keeps her balance this time, and she avoids those slam downs. If she does get taken down, because we know she'll get taken down, she's good enough to scramble up. She's going to get up, But what do you think, Keg? This is a little bit harder. I know Preston is really adamant on Rose here. I'm a little bit more reserved on it because I can see the same scenario happening again almost. But what do you think?
I think I've been waiting 13 months for Rose to get back in the cage with this midget, and she's going to put on a show. That's what I think. I've already got a couple dimes invested in Namajunas. On the money line, I got her at 180 when the earliest that I saw the line. There is no doubt in my mind that, first of all, Rose Namajunas has the best footwork in women's MMA. I don't even think it's close. The angles that she cuts are upper level. And that's why her striking accuracy is so on point, because she gets open looks at these women all the time. She looked like Muhammad Ali in the first 2 rounds of that first fight. She looked incredible. I think that she will be hyper aware of the fact that she can't let Jessica Andrade get hands on her. And even if she does get hands on her, she has to make sure she gets those underhooks in. I don't see a way she loses this fight unless she gets dropped on her head again. And that's the first time, maybe the second time I've ever seen that. And certainly the first time in women's MMA. So I just don't see. And now it's only a 3-round fight. So she already has great cardio, but she'll be able to even up her output considering she only has to pace herself for 3 rounds. I think she's going to destroy Jessica Andrade, and I think the books realize it. That's why they made Rose Namajunas a $2 favorite when she got knocked out in fight number 1.
Because
so I feel really good about it. I'm heavily invested in her, and I might bet her in a couple 2-fighter parlays. I think number 1, I think this is the first fight in a while. This is the first card in a while where I think every favorite on the card has a legitimate chance to win the fight, and probably decisively. So I think 2-fighter parlays are the way to go if you use Volkanovski and Usman as your anchor. So I could see you doing that with Rose Namajunas, but I'll be probably I'll have 3,000 or 4,000 on Rose by the end of the night.
Yeah, I mean, another thing you brought up was Andrade. We know that her gas tank isn't the greatest. She is questionably, because she takes so much damage. She takes a lot of shots. You got to wonder how chinny she really is, because she got knocked out her last fight, didn't she?
Yeah, against
Zhang. Yeah. And then she takes a lot of damage, man. So I'm with y'all guys. Rose by far. Again, you just pray to God you don't see a repeat of what happened last time. But yeah, we're all over Rose too. We already have Rose wrapped up in a parlay with Volkanovski. We'll get into that later, but I agree with you. Rose, I'll take her straight. I'm going to take her straight. I'm going to take her in 2-team parlays. I'm going to take her in a 5-team parlay even. I agree with you, Keg. I told Preston the other day that might be one of the hardest cards to find a dog in, because all the favorites look so dominant to me.
Especially on the main card. Like we find probably 2 solid underdog spots on our fight cast every week that we cash on. I had a hard time picking them out this week, and especially on the main card. I would not touch an underdog on the main card personally.
Yeah, that's kind of where you just I agree. Well, cool, man. We're all in Rose, and we're all in Rose very heavy. And it sounds like Preston and Keg are on Rose for, between the two of them, a small minivan. So that's a good.
Let's go, Preston. Let's go.
I'm with y'all. I'm riding with y'all. All right. Next fight. Very interesting fight. We got Yan versus Aldo. Peter Yan's coming in at minus 220. Jose Aldo's coming in at plus 180, over and under 2.5, over minus 185, under 2.5. Jason, let's start off with you.
Well, I just said that, I thought every favorite has a strong chance of winning the fight on the main card. But I will say, over the last few days, if there is one fight that doubt has crept into my mind a little bit, I think that Aldo is probably slightly more live than the betting public is giving him credit for. Number one, we know he shouldn't be in the fight. It should be Marlon Moraes or Aljamain Sterling. Unfortunately, we're stuck with this fight. The only reason, though, I think you can even remotely think that Aldo was live in the fight to begin with is because even though Petr Yan has looked incredible, even though he has absolutely destroyed his competition, he has not fought anybody good yet. And that's the doubt that creeps slightly into my mind. But what we have seen of Yan, I think, has been amazing. We know that he's got bricks in his hands. His footwork is incredible. He's fast. The angles that he cuts give him easy opportunities. His takedowns and top control wrestling game is really good. I truly believe the kid is the total package and probably a future champion, very likely tomorrow night. We do know that, you have to give Aldo the respect he deserves. He was one of the best fighters pound for pound in the world, for 5 to 7 years maybe. And we know that he'll go down as one of the greats. But he definitely has passed his prime, and he still might be a top 10 level guy, but he is no longer the monster that he was. And I think you saw that, I was just talking about it earlier. The fact that Marlon Moraes was able to get him down in round one, that's something you just don't see in a Jose Aldo fight. And after he got dropped twice by Max Holloway, his striking game, he stopped throwing leg kicks as often as he used to. And that was a really solid foundation for why his hands were so dangerous. I think if he just went back to heavy volume with the leg kicks, it would probably serve him better inside the pocket when he's striking. But we haven't seen it lately. So the reason why I will not bet Yan is because this is clearly the best fighter that he's fought to date, and he will have to fight very well to win the title. So if that's the case, I don't want to lay 240 on a kid that's about to fight the toughest fight of his life so far, and the fact that he's going to have to fight really well to get the job done. So, prop wise, if you want to maybe take a small look at Yan by knockout, maybe to try to get plus money, maybe I can see that, but you just can't lay the 240 in this spot. I wouldn't even lay it in a parlay, to be honest. If there was one fight I would probably avoid throwing a parlay in on the main card, it would probably be this fight. I think you either sit back, enjoy the fight, you either take the dog or you pass, or you take a shot on like a Yan KO prop at plus money. Aside from that, I just don't see how you could lay the 240.
Yeah, I agree. Man, this is a little bit tough for me because I love Aldo. I mean, he's one of my favorite, but like you said, and I've brought this up all week with Preston, is that he has gone away from those legendary leg kicks. That was his bread and butter. I mean, the guy was freaking just killing people with his legs, and you got to imagine how much abuse he took on his own legs by giving those blows. You've really seen his game turn into more of just a straight up boxing game, and he's even talked about going into boxing, after this, or who knows, but he's only 33 years old, which is crazy because I feel like I've been watching the guy forever. But
because you've been watching him for like 150 years. That's why.
It's nuts, man. And he was such a high level champion at such a young age for so long. Yep. It's crazy to see him declining even at 33. But it's not like he's facing average Joe guy. Like, he's facing still top notch dudes. And that's kind of the problem. Petr Yan, like you said, doesn't. But the thing is, he has faced some decent guys like Riviera, Dotson. Dotson put Yan down, even though Yan destroyed Dotson that fight. Mm-hmm. He still clipped him, but Yan's footwork, his switching stances, his relentless pressure forward, the guy doesn't ever go backwards. He's only going forwards. It kind of reminds me, the way Yan fights all the time reminds me of the way Aldo fought in the last round against Marias. Marias was tired, and Aldo was pressuring him like I've never seen, like mirroring everything, really cutting off the ring. But Aldo just doesn't have enough, man. He does have power. You know, he's was a 145 champion.
Yep,
So
featherweight champ. Yep.
he's got a bigger frame. I mean, he's got power. He could get lucky and clip Yan, but I don't see it, man. I think Yan just moved forward, outstrikes Aldo. Aldo's, like I said, more into that boxing style now. Unfortunately, he doesn't use those kicks. If he used those kicks, he could really mess with Peter a little bit, because he'll have to switch stances more often, which is kind of not, I guess, Yan's used to that. He's comfortable in switching stances. But man, I think I think he's on his way to be a champion. And I do think Aldo's, I just don't think he has enough, man. He could have won that fight against Marias, but he didn't have the fire to put it away in that second and third round when he had a chance to. So
let me ask you guys a question. How did you score that fight? I had it.
Winning.
I had Maurice by 1 round. How did you guys have it?
It was really Maurice by 1 round, in my opinion. I want to say Aldo won because 2 and 3, he obviously, to me, looked like he put the pressure on. But Marias, of course, had the kick, and the right off the bat, he stunned Aldo, yep, a few times with the kicks. And I don't know, man. It was close to me, dude. I was rooting for Aldo. I thought Aldo could have pulled it out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying Aldo got robbed. I agree. I thought Marlon Moraes won the fight. Yeah, I thought Moraes won. Clint here says, you won't believe this, I got Yan by KO plus 190.
Yep. Well, we got a better line than that, Clint, because I put it out earlier, and we have Yan
by KO.
Yeah. Let me just pull it up here.
This is on mybookie.ag.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Clint.
because
plus 120 I see right now on Bet365.
Yeah,
and we got an even worse line with someone we know. Clint knows.
Clint got minus 190. That's insane.
Plus 190.
Plus 190.
Minus 190 is more what we get, but Clint, you got a great line. Yeah, we won't. I have stories for days about that. It's highway robbery. What we get, but
well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick Yan. I would probably back Yan here, and I do think he's gonna win. But Aldo could get lucky. He does have power still. He could clip Yan, but I think Yan would get back up, honestly. So, what do you got, Preston?
Yeah. So we have one guy here asking, will the hot weather in Abu Dhabi affect the fights, in your opinion? I believe they're not on the beach. I think they're in a bubble of some sort.
And it's been air conditioned for about a week. So no.
Okay, good. So yeah, I know that everyone sees the fights, like the countdown show. They're all walking to the beach where the octagon is.
That's what everyone was hoping for.
Yeah. So okay, it is inside. It's in a building, so it should be like a normal UFC event. Yeah, tough fight. Very tough fight here. So for me, it's probably GSP, then Jose Aldo for maybe favorite fighters ever. And I'll be honest, I thought Aldo was done last year. I picked against Aldo against Renato Moicano. I thought Moicano was going to work him on the feet. And then Aldo, Moicano did do well round 1. Then Aldo him with that body shot really put him down. He didn't fight against Volkanovski, in my opinion, at all. He didn't even try, it seemed, that fight. I don't know where his head was. And then Moraes, that's why it's hard to discredit Aldo. He came out, fought Marlon Moraes, who, against Henry Cejudo, put a beating on Cejudo round 1 with those leg kicks. And, he took shot for shot. And Yan, I think Yan's really good. I thought he was really good. But if you watch the Jimmy Rivera fight, pretty close fight. But Yan's power is what puts him over and solidifies the rounds. He
destroys these people.
Yeah, he just knocks them down and takes them out. And that's what Aldo's chin, it's not the best, but he kind of was he was getting chin checked against Holloway 1 and 2 through the accumulation. It was just Holloway was just putting it on him left and right. And yeah, well, man, I don't know, because it is what we're saying. if Aldo uses his leg kicks, that's a big if. We don't know if that's going to happen. And Yan's tough. Yan bites down on that mouthpiece, walks forward, throws bombs. And, I mean, he got a layup his last week against Faber. Faber's done. Faber had previously knocked out.
Faber even stunned him in that fight a bit.
Yeah.
He hit him on the top of the forehead, I think. And
yeah, but if we're being honest, he did exactly what he was supposed to do against Faber.
Oh, hell yeah.
He destroyed him.
He destroyed him.
And he was minus 500. I've seen some people saying Faber would beat Aldo, which surprises me online.
Faber had a balloon bouncy coming out of his eye, man. That was sick.
Yeah, Faber got worked. Man, because I feel like one of these dogs is going to hit, and I'm a lot more confident in Volk and Usman. So I'm gonna take this shot at it. I'm gonna say Aldo. Grinds out a decision, a close split decision. Tough fight. I was more impressed in my head with Yan than watching the tape because I knew Faber is done. Like Faber's toast. But then I watched the Rivera fight and I watched the Dodson fight. And yeah, he has the power that really shocks people. But Aldo can match his shots, I think. And Aldo's not a small guy either.
That's why I think if you're going to side with Aldo, you should almost take the TKO because he's more likely to clip Yan than outwin him in a decision. Aldo's volume hasn't been all that impressive, whereas Yan does move forward a lot.
And we've seen it. Aldo does go to the body. Yeah, and I like the body work. But some judges, we'll see if they count.
Aldo is
plus 425.
Yeah, 4.5 to 1. That's what I see.
That's pretty sick if you like that side. I mean, because honestly, dude, I'll be honest. I don't see Aldo winning a decision here. I can see him clipping and winning that way. Clipping.
Yeah, you know why? Because Yan gets better as the fight goes on. I just don't see Aldo's stamina at this point in his career holding up as good as it should in the 4th and the 5th.
Yeah, we were we talked with Clint prior about this, or in like a text chat. Over 2.5, we were saying is pretty solid. But again, you're laying -2, -220 there. Mm-hmm. But I think that's pretty good. We have a comment here by Taif Taka. What happened to the bad beat story thing? Are we done with it?
Oh, yeah. I left odds. I left odds.com, buddy. That was my idea. So I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but I had to leave because I had to focus on another project and I didn't want there to be a conflict of interest. So I ended up leaving, but they may still be doing it at odds.com.
Okay, interesting. So okay, I'm gonna be on Fight Island here on the island by myself. I'm gonna take Aldo. I'm gonna say this is last chance saloon for Aldo, and if he wins, I will bet my mortgage on Aljamain Sterling to sub him out.
Yeah, leave it to Aldo to ruin everyone's plan, Dana's plans, right?
Yeah. You know what? I respect the call, and I do agree that if there's one fight on the card, in my opinion, that a dog could sneak in there. Probably this fight. So
yep, and I agree too. We've been talking about it all week. I mean, Aldo's a legend, man. It's hard to fucking. He's like a very, 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 very high gatekeeper. Like,
I mean, I thought he was done. He got stomped out by Holloway. He gets a rematch, loses, beats Jeremy Stevens, then beats Moicano. Then he fights Volkanovski, and he's a favorite there. Barely fights. So it's like, he's done. Then he fights Marlon.
Yeah, I had a big bet on Volkanovski in that fight.
Yep.
Yeah, then he fights Marlon Moraes, and he puts it to Marlon. Close fight. I thought Marlon won as well. It was a close fight. So, yeah, I think all those live for sure.
Well, speaking of big bet, boys, this next fight is my big bet of the night. I love Volkanovski here. I'm going all in on the Aussie. He comes in at -220. Against Max Holloway, the former champion, plus 180. Over and under 4.5. It's -260 over. Under, it's plus 200. This is my best bet, and I haven't decided what I'm going to put on it yet, but I'm thinking of maxing it very heavy. I love Volkanovski here, man. I think we see, if we don't see a repeat what happened the first fight, I think we see a TKO by Volkanovski. Because the thing is, everyone can kind of say Max played it safe last fight, which he did. He didn't engage as much as he usually do because Holloway is a pressure volume, high volume fighter. The thing is, Volkanovski is also a pressure, high volume fighter. He throws just as much volume. Volkanovski has some excellent feints, huge fucking legs, throwing that kick like no other. You could tell it was bothering Holloway. And man, I think Volkanovski has the eye of the tiger, dude. He's like on a mission. The guy's a beast. His grappling, he didn't have to use, but when he was in the clinch against the cage with Holloway, he controlled it very well. I think he can use that body, that frame, that muscle to control it in a grappling game if he needs to go that route. He's very good at double and single leg, takedowns. The guy is a beast. I think he's a very underrated champion here. Max Holloway, we know who he is. He's a legend. Been in some freaking the best battles we've ever seen in the UFC. The guy takes so much damn damage. I don't know how much more. I know he's one tough guy, the Hawaiian spirit, the warrior, but he takes so much damage, man. And I don't know if he can continue at that rate. I think Volkanovski, I think Max has to go with a different game plan. I don't think he can sit there like he did and try to out volume or out point this guy. He's going to want to engage a little more. The problem if he engages a little bit more, Volkanovski's going to knock this dude out. He's got the power to do it. I'm all over Volkanovski here. I know Max was a legend. He's got great low kicks, very creative striker, move forward, high volume guy, tough as nails. But man, I just don't see it here, dude. I do not see it. I think Volkanovski is a pure lock of the night. What do you got, Preston?
Yeah. So I'm right there with Jeff. Max Holloway's a guy who's kind of been a thorn in my side for a while. I bet Brian Ortega against him, and then luckily I bet Dustin Poirier against him. Poirier gets it done. Maxon fights Frankie Edgar is a $5 favorite, wins, but doesn't look that great there either. And then he gets Volkanovski, like Jeff was saying, gets chopped down to death. And even then, though, Volkanovski just throws harder shots, bigger shots, and he never even used his grappling in that bout. Holloway, good, great fighter, legend of the sport, but yeah, I think his time has come and gone. Volkanovski here, he's just so big. Like, the way he's built, what he did to Chad Mendes, a year and a half ago, just the way,
unbelievable.
Yeah, just the way he can just overwhelm and just dominate where the fight takes place. And that's what I like. I like seeing these bigger wrestler types because Max is a tall, lanky, skinny guy. 145's, it's a tough division, and maybe Max doesn't want to cut this weight anymore. As we saw in the chat here, this Taftaka guy said Max looked unhealthy at the weigh-in, and I've seen a few people say that. I didn't think he looked that bad, but Volkanovski definitely looks more suited for the weight, and Volkanovski to me wins this fight pretty much anywhere. Yeah, I'm with Jeff here. Our big bet was if Biloxi, Mississippi was more open and easier to get with this corona not cooling off, it's going to be Rose and Volkanovski, and it still might be Rose and Volkanovski. So, yeah, all over Volkanovski here.
Keg, what do you got, sir?
Yeah, 3 is a charm. I've already started releasing screenshots of my action. And one of the screenshots was Volkanovski, Usman parlay for a dime to get back, I don't know, like 1,200. One of the free picks I gave out on our YouTube channel was exactly that, Volkanovski and Rose. Listen, man, I love Max Holloway, okay, but what's he going to do to change that game plan and change the outcome in a 7-month span?
I don't know.
I sound like a fucking broken record, especially when he has not been able to train the way that he wanted to, didn't have his coaches for a lot of the camp. I just don't see anything changing. And initially, when I watched the first fight in real time on our Fightcast, I said to myself, it was one of the most unimpressive title changes that I've ever seen in my life. I said, did Volkanovski just take the featherweight belt from Holloway with leg kicks? And I think the public at large thought that. And then this week, I watched that fight 3 or 4 times, and without a doubt, Volkanovski gets the better of every single exchange in that fight. He ducks under Holloway's exit shot, comes over the top with an overhand, and he managed to hit the button on that chin almost every single time. Now, to Max's credit, he's got an incredible chin, especially at 145. So there's a good chance that this fight goes the distance. But Volkanovski is fundamentally a machine. He's got no weaknesses. One of his best attributes is his wrestling game, which he didn't even use in that first fight. So we know what Holloway is, man. He doesn't change the game plan. He stands in the middle of the cage and bangs for 5 rounds. That's what he does. That's what he's going to do tomorrow night. And at the end of the day, I don't see how we see a different outcome. I think Volkanovski's got a shot to hold that belt for a while. There are a couple challengers like Zombie, maybe Zabit. But
see the Zombie fight Zabit.
But yeah, I just don't. I don't see the outcome changing. I think you can use Volkanovski as an anchor in multiple 2-fighter parlays on this main card. And that's exactly what I did. So Volkanovski all the way for me.
Yeah. And one thing you did mention is how it was one of the most unimpressive things that you said. I think Volkanovski has a little sense of that himself, and he's going to come out here and fucking put it on, Max. He wants to.
Well, yeah, he went on record. Yeah, he went on record by saying he was disgusted with the media coverage.
Yeah,
because the public really was not impressed when the fight happened. And he said he's coming to make a statement. So that makes sense.
So that's why I sprinkled a little on the TKO plus 320. That's a hell of a line there. Like I said, if Max wants to engage a little bit more of this fight, he's going to have to face that power, those kicks. And man, Volkanovski, bro, like you said, he's underrated to me, man. He's going to be a champ for a while, I believe. So this is definitely my best bet. But the next fight is probably the fan favorite by far. Everyone's ready for this fight. We all kind of, I don't want to say got lucky on Burns' behalf, because poor Burns, I mean, what a bummer. You get COVID, you get a clear title shot. I mean, that's like a once in a lifetime thing. And then you get COVID.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, I feel bad for him, man. Prayers go out to him and his family. Hope they're all safe, recovering well. On the other side of that coin, we get Masvidal and Usman. They've stirred up some beef before, and a lot of shit talking between the guys. I truly think this is more real than the Usman Corey kind of crap that was, to me, a little bit more stage, kind of fucking pro wrestling, WWE type shit. That kind of Kobe brings that kind of mentality. But Usman's a straight up killer, man. He's coming in as the big favorite, minus 235 versus Masvidal off 6-day notice comes in plus 175. The over and under 4.5 championship fight over minus 110, under minus 120. Jason, since you're our guest, why don't you start with this fight?
Oh man, I'm a huge fan of George. I really like him a lot. Jorge Masvidal comes in as the 2019 Fighter of the Year, cashes as a dog in 3 straight fights. The narrative, like I said earlier, is there's no possible way Jorge Masvidal can win this fight on a week's notice, right? But that's not accurate, because if you're a fan of the sport and you follow, as recent as 5 weeks ago, he was in contract negotiations to fight Kamaru Usman on this card. So he had been training for Usman for the last couple months, but he stopped when the contract fell through because he didn't get paid what he wanted to get paid. So if that's your, if that's your thesis on why Usman wins, I think it's a bad one. But that being said, I don't think Masvidal wins. And it has nothing to do with the short notice, man, because styles make fights in mixed martial arts. 9 out of 10 times you take the wrestler over the striker. And Kamaru Usman is probably the best wrestler at 170 pounds. The only reason why he did not take Colby Covington to the ground in his last title defense is because he was an All-American wrestler himself, and Usman didn't respect his striking. Now, the difference is everybody in that division knows who has better boxing in the pocket than George Masvidal. No, probably nobody in that division. So I think Usman ends up respecting the stand-up game, and he takes him down to the mat, grinds him out, whether it's for 5 rounds or he gets a stoppage. I think that's the way he gets the job done. People are talking about Jorge Masvidal has a 78% takedown defense. That's all well and good, man, but not against the champ, who's the best wrestler in the division, and it's a 5-round fight, and the guy's got a limitless gas tank. So as big of a fan of Masvidal as I am, I think Kamaru Usman is the way to go. And again, you can bet him straight. I would maybe wait to see if Masvidal is such a fan favorite that he may take money tomorrow night, and you may be able to get a slightly cheaper price on Kamaru Usman. But if not, again, I think he's another anchor in multiple 2-fight parlays on the card. And that's it. One thing I will say about Gilbert Burns, who happens to be the #1 contender in the welterweight division now. I couldn't believe it. And then I went back and looked at the top 5 and who they fought. And there is a case to be made that he deserves to be the #1 contender in the division. But I think it's a blessing in disguise for Gilbert Burns. I think he's probably 18 months away from truly being ready to beat somebody like Kamaru Usman. So I think he'll get his title shot eventually, but in the end, I think it's a blessing. For me, it's Kamaru Usman all the way. Because one more thing, the only way I think Masvidal wins this fight is if he catches Usman when Usman comes in on entry to get the takedown. Outside of that, I don't see what his path to victory is, because I just don't think Usman will stand in front of him for 5 rounds. So if Usman doesn't get knocked out coming in, I think it's pretty clear cut that he gets the job done. So that's it for me.
What do you think, Preston?
Yeah, I told Jeff this. I think Kamaru Usman isn't going to be beat for a long time. He's so big. So big, he just controls the fight so easily. We saw him against RDA, just really dominate RDA, the likes of which really hasn't been happened beforehand. Granted, RDA might be on a slide now, but at the time, RDA was supposed to be a real threat to Usman. Usman just dominated him there, gets the title shot against Woodley, controls the fight there very easily. Then, like you said, just cleans up against Covington. Fight standing, knocks Covington out. Masvidal, great, good. See, because I don't want to be rude and say great fighter. He's a very good fighter, but the till knockout's huge. To me, that's probably the best win he's had. And then he needs Askren in 4 seconds. We've seen Askren. Askren then soon retires. Askren has 0 stand-up, so even if the fight took a while, I would have liked to seen it take a while and see if Masvidal could work on the feet and not get taken down there, but evidently didn't happen that way. And then he fights Diaz, and he just had more power than Diaz, kind of pushed Diaz around, outstruck him, and got a good victory there. Usman is a whole different animal. Usman so big, he's going to clinch him up, he's going to drag him down, he's going to beat on him. You said he was training, 5 weeks ago, but Usman was training this whole time. This is, to me, Usman all day. And even then, like Masvidal, I watched the Till fight yesterday, Masvidal got dropped by Till. Masvidal was, in the pocket throwing some heavy shots, but it was a close stand-up fight. Usman's not going to stand with him the whole fight, but Usman's going to probably throw an overhand left, a straight left, come in, clinch against the cage, drag him down, and I got Usman all day here for sure.
It seems like a trip and rip against the cage, or a double leg takedown, or a high crotch. And let me ask you this, Jeff: if Tyron Woodley, who was an All-American, couldn't get up for 25 minutes, what is Jorge Masvidal going to do when his back is on the mat?
Well, I actually rewatched that fight, Keg, and the thing is, I don't think Woodley tried to get up. He didn't even look like he wanted to scramble. The guy was done, period. He was mentally checked out. His fucking will was crushed. He didn't even give any effort in that fight. Zero. I think he had less than like 10 strikes the entire match.
Yeah, he fought horrible.
Who fucking does that? I guarantee you one thing, Masvidal might not win, but he will scramble, claw, scratch, go for subs. The guy's underrated in the sub department. He's underrated in the wrestling. He's underrated in the scrambling. We saw him roll around a little bit with Nate Diaz, high-level jiu-jitsu guy. He scrambled around fine. We've seen him wrestle with Yoel Romero, some of the best wrestlers in the world. He's flying in, guys. This guy's going to be prepared. It's just a matter of everything y'all said. Usman is way bigger. He's a much better wrestler. Probably the most boring champion I've ever seen, because I don't like guys that are so dominant that just lay there on top of you. He doesn't even ground and pound. He's not that kind of guy. He's going to sit there, get position, and he's just going to try to hold you down. I hate that. At least throw some fucking elbows. Show me that you're a fucking killer out there. I don't trust Usman because I don't see that fire yet, dude. I don't.
He's going for 13 in a row, Jeff.
Yeah, but dude, look at it. Decision. The guy is boring as all can be. I mean,
but like, at what point have you looked at Jorge Masvidal's wrestling in the cage and actually been impressed?
I don't, and I don't think Jorge has a chance in that department. I think Usman wins this fight, but yeah, I'm not going to bet on Usman because I hate Usman, dude. I hate him. I fucking hate him. I'm rolling with my boy Jorge, dog. This is my one shot right here in the dark, and I'm rolling the fucking dice. I've done it against.
You know what?
I've done it against. I'm gonna do it against fucking Usman. That's 3 in a row. He's gonna get me this.
You gotta love a guy that just sticks with his convictions.
It's it.
He said, "You know what? Fuck you, Kamaru Usman. I'm gonna fade you again."
And here's the problem.
I love it.
No, and this is the thing is I haven't faded. I've been on Usman every side. He's a dominant champion. I'm going to give him that. He's probably going to win this fight. I'll give him that. He's probably going to dry hump Jorge's legs for 5 rounds. I'll give him that. If he wants to stand and bang, he's going to get fucking knocked the fuck out. And if any more Twitter people want to DM me and tell me, well, do you know what MMA is, dude? It's all about fucking wrestling. No shit, Sherlock. It's not fucking exciting, though. It still doesn't make it fun. At least throw some fucking elbows, get position if you're so dominant, and put this fucking dude away. Instead,
wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree though? Over maybe the last 2 years, his striking, his stand-up game has improved. I mean, he did break Colby Covington's jaw in the second round. He has gotten better at least.
Well, like Preston said, the dude's fucking strong. He's a goddamn ox, and that's what scares me. Yeah. I actually liked him before I really started getting his personality, and I can't get behind the dude. Yeah, man. I can't fucking get behind him.
Right now, he's probably the most disliked champion in like a decade. From everywhere online, everyone I see, no one likes him. But
I'll be honest with you: you put a gun to my head, you give me $5,000. I'm betting Usman, but I don't have to bet $5,000, and I'm going to bet a couple $100 for fun on Jorge. That's my
good for you.
That's my prerogative. And it's the same kind of thing with Aldo. You know, I'm going to take my shot with Jorge here. I just see this fucking picture in my head. Masvidal wins. They set up the Conor Masvidal fight. Boom, the biggest pay-per-view in history. And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I think just like betting against Khabib, Jonkovic betting against Usman. Usman's too good. Like
I hope he gives us one round of fucking standing because I want to see some action.
I don't think if it's standing, sure, for the whole fight, he's going to get knocked out. But I think Usman can last a round standing with Masvidal.
I wish he would.
I don't think
wish
it's
he'd try.
that far like this is Anderson Silva versus Damian Maia or something. I think Usman has decent hands and can stand a bit. That's what I mentioned. Masvidal got dropped by Till. I mean, Till's a great kickboxer, but
But you've also seen Usman get cracked a few times by Colby. Colby's not as good as Masvidal striking wise.
I mean, Colby puts a lot of pressure on, though.
Yeah, but his pressure is volume. It's not powerful volume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. I think what Masvidal's probably best case is to just do those body kicks, try to gas Usman out, rip the body a bit.
Look, I hate that I have to fucking disagree with y'all. I mean, I don't even disagree with y'all. That's what's crazy about me is I agree with y'all, but I'm gonna throw my money and wipe my ass with it, I guess, because that's what y'all are.
You know what? I respect it. I respect it because his striking is good enough where he can catch Kamaru Usman and drop him. But the problem is when those double leg takedowns start coming, bro, he's going to be like a deer in headlights.
I am actually interested because I know that Usman has the very strong edge there. Masvidal and Poirier and everyone in his camp has always talked about how hard Masvidal works at his wrestling. We're going to see it. And that's fucking for sure. We're going to see it firsthand, and this is going to be a really exciting fight. Either way you spin it. But the other thing is, man, is you can't even use that 6-day notice kind of as an excuse. The one thing that kills me is I could have got Masvidal at plus 300. Now I'm looking at plus 175. It's almost not even worth it to me.
Yeah, money's coming in on Masvidal.
Yeah, it's tough to take it.
Yep, hard to take that, but when you're up 5K from Volkanovski, I mean a couple hundred on Jorge is not going to hurt, right?
Attaboy. Attaboy.
I'll tell you what. What do you think about this? Preston and I have been talking about this. Volkanovski, Usman, Rose, and Qatar.
Yeah,
get Qatar in on that early. Oh shit, I forgot. You were against Dan. We were on opposite sides last time. You had Dan for the win against Barbosa. Yeah. Ain't that right, Keg? You had Dan, right? Dan Iggy.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. Are you guys talking about Calvin Kattar? He's not on this card.
No. We're talking about parlaying him onto the Wednesday card because at my bookie they have.
Okay.
My bookie, you can bet all the way up till the DC fight. I mean, they have odds all the way that deep.
Oh yeah, me too. And I'll tell you, I mean, Calvin Kattar is going to be a tough out for Dan Ige. I'll tell you that, bro. Yeah. I think that kid is a legit. A super legit contender. If you parlayed Masvidal, let me see what this pays. Masvidal, Rose.
No, I wouldn't parlay Masvidal.
I'm sorry, not Masvidal. Usman. I meant Usman, Rose, Volkanovski gets you 2-1. If you throw in Amanda Ribas, gets you 240. That's still low, man, for a 4-fighter parlay. That's tough. See, what I did is I said I want even money or I want plus 110. So I parlayed Rose and Usman, get you plus 110. I bet that for 1,000. I parlayed Usman and Volkanovski, get you plus 103. I bet that for 1,000. I parlayed Volkanovski and Rose. That gets you 110, plus 110. I bet that for 1,000. I think if you round robin those 3 fights, and then you find a way somehow to maybe get a prop in on Amanda Ribas, if you want to throw her in a 2-fighter parlay, I just feel really good about taking Namajunas, Volkanovski, and Usman and parlaying them into a 2-fighter round robin. I think you probably go 4-0.
Yeah,
and you pick up 4 dimes. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean this is the kind of card to do that on. Exactly right. I got a 5-team I threw a little on. It was Rose, Volkanovski, Martin Day, Paiva, and Ozdemir, and that pays one unit will pay plus 845.
What is it? It's Paiva,
Paiva, Day, Ozdemir, Volkanovski, and Rose plus 845.
Okay.
And I love all those fights. Actually, Day, Paiva, and Volkanovski are my 3 best bets of the entire night.
Yeah, I think Paiva probably wins. I think Uzdemir probably wins. I have to watch tape tonight on that Davy Grant Martin Day fight. I still have to watch tape on that, but I feel pretty good about where I am with all the other fights. But yeah, that's not a bad parlay.
Yeah, I mean, just something, a little action, nothing big, but
I'll tell you, you know what, Jeff? What that round 2 starts in the Amir Khani fight, I think it's like minus 260. I think that's another one that you can throw in, like Volkanovski and the second round starts in the Amir Khani fight. Usman and the second round starts in the Amir Khani fight. Because I really think we're going to see the second round start. My guy Joey Work at the Sports Keg brought that to my attention tonight, and I really like that bet. I think you're in good shape that round 2 starts there. I do think that there are ways to make money on this card. I just don't like backing underdogs. We backed a ton of underdogs over the last 9 weeks over at the Keg. I just don't see it on this card.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's tough, man. And that's why we're taking long shots with Masvidals and, Aldos and things like that. I mean, I don't see much value anywhere outside that. Zaleski maybe versus over Muslim. But even him, he's like, even money. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Let me ask you a more serious question, both of y'all. Y'all both are very heavy on Usman. Do you see him winning flat out inside 4.5, or is it a decision?
I lean that it doesn't go the distance, a very, very slight lean, because I think Masvidal could either knock him out. I think Usman could either knock him out. And then also there's a good chance that if Usman is grinding him out on the mat and they get into the 3rd or the 4th, I can see him maybe win by a ground and pound stoppage. I have a slight lean towards it doesn't go the distance, but not enough for me to put money on it.
How about you, Preston?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to you yesterday about this. I did think Usman could TKO him round 4, round 5. Personally, I do think that's in the realm of possibility. I mean, I do see a lot of people on Usman by decision, like plus 130, plus 140. You can go that route too, or you do what Jason earlier said. Do those round robins: Volkanovski, Usman, Rose. I mean, those are definitely my 3 most confident picks, and Rose is my number 1. We have a guy in the chair, Taftaka. He wants an even money bet. Rose and Volkanovski.
All those 2 fighter parlays get you plus 105, plus 103, plus 110.
Yeah, that's the way. Volkanovski's plus 115, 120.
Yeah, we can let Jason know. Our plan was to bet $5,000 on Rose Volkanovski parlayed tomorrow night.
Well, you know what though? Let me bring this to your attention. This is the play that I gave out. Volkanovski double chance. It drops the price for you to around minus 160-ish, and the double chance is either by TKO or decision, because let's be honest, the chances are he's probably not. There's a really good chance he doesn't win the fight by submission. So Volkanovski double chance with Rose, I think personally is the way to go. That's what I gave out as the free pick over at Run Pure Bets. Let me get the price for you, what that parlay pays, because I think you guys will grab a little extra value, because the odds are bad that he wins that fight by decision. I'm sorry, submission.
There is one thing, y'all. Kamaru Usman said that you could probably look into it at a certain way, but he does mention he wants to make Jorge squeal like a pig. So when he says that, I keep visioning he's going to be on top of this guy and he's going to go for some kind of like triangle fucking submission and make him squeal, tap out. Like that'd be the most disgraceful way to beat somebody. And if he does that, by sub is plus $1,100. Not bad.
Wow. Yeah, it gets you plus 132. Volkanovski double chance, which would mean that he wins by TKO or decision. And Rose Namajunas gets you plus 132.
Wow. Not bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, we like that too. Well, man, this has been a fun show. I know y'all guys have y'all's fight cast tomorrow. We are too. Unfortunately, we have to be on opposite ends of that as far as, maybe we'll shoot you a text, see how you're doing. But we wish you the best of luck, Jason.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate y'all guys coming on. Y'all go give Run Pure Sports a follow with Sports Keg. Jason over there with Sports Keg. And man, anything else you want to wrap up? We have our best bets. I guess we got to finish up real quick.
I appreciate you, Jeff, and Preston. Obviously, one day we'll all come together, one show, and do a fight cast together. But yeah, I'll be over there. Obviously, I'll be with you guys again next Friday night.
Yep.
I love doing stuff for you guys.
And we don't know what's going to happen Wednesday. We're going to have to play all that by ear because that's kind of weird. But yeah. But anyway, man, we really appreciate you on the show. Before you leave us, give us your best bet. What do you got?
Usman Volkanovski plus 110.
Preston, what do you got?
The one we talk about, Rose and Volkanovski. Yep.
Okay, I'm going Volkanovski straight up. That's our show. I appreciate y'all guys listening. Jason, thank you very much. Preston, you have any last thing you want to say?
No. Well, we do have a ESPN group, pick'em contest. Join us. Talkin Hands is the group name. You win. First prize is going to get a free Talkin Hands shirt. And Jason mentioned this earlier. They delayed our Halloween movie to 2021, so we got.
How dare they?
Year.
Oh man,
how dare they?
Yeah, we got to wait another year, which is garbage. But Corona is screwing us all. So what can we say?
Yep. Well, Jason, we appreciate it, man. Good luck tomorrow. We wish you all the best of luck. Everyone out there, good luck. We helped y'all out making some decisions. We look forward to seeing y'all live tomorrow night, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, and we need please, for the love of God, Rose Namajunas win that fight.
Yep, let's go.
Amen. Good night, boys.
Later,
see you guys. Have a good one.